The 2019 NFL Draft is now officially open. The Arizona Cardinals are on the clock.
All righty, this is it. The drama is building, and it's about to finally get, as rain is coming down on Nashville now. It's about to get rolling right here as we look on the Honda War Room cam here of the Arizona Cardinals, our first one. And we peek on in, and there's Steve Keim over there on the left. At the top of the table is Michael Bidwell and Cliff Kingsbury on the right. It was last October when he said, as coach of Texas Tech, getting set to take on Oklahoma, that Kyler Murray, he would take him first overall in an NFL draft if he had the chance. And who knew at the time that here we are on April 25th, and he actually has that chance. So we're going to find out if he was just talking to the opponent or he really is the guy who he wants to hitch his wagon to as he gets his first crack at being a head coach in the National Football League. The best players available, Daniel Jeremiah, on your draft board. Let's get to that.
Well, to me, you look at the defensive lineman. This is a defensive-heavy draft. That's why I have Nick Bosa, Quinnen Williams right there at the very top of the list. Kyler is my top co. And last year, this offense in Arizona, last in everything. I won't read you all the numbers. Trust me, they were bad. They earned that first overall pick. And Kurt, they went out and got a new coach. The question is, are they going to go get a new quarterback?
That is the question, and there are a lot of issues. You know, we saw that with Josh Rosen, who they drafted top 10 last year. Offensive line struggled. Not a lot of weapons around him. You go get another quarterback, you're not going to have a lot of weapons around him this year either, but you got a playmaker, an athlete that can create some things on his own in a system that they seem to think is going to fit him perfectly. So if they go Kyler Murray, he's going to have to do a lot of carrying this football team next year.
And when you talk to folks around the league, the only concern, the major concern with Kyler Murray is the one that I have, and that's durability. But there is some hope and there is some good news in regards to his durability because he does a phenomenal job of protecting himself. Watch him run out of bounds right here. Don't take that unnecessary hit. Now you're playing against Alabama. They've got you. You've got nowhere to go. Don't fight for an extra 2 or 3 yards. Give yourself up and go down. Do not take unnecessary punishment. You get a free run through here against Oklahoma State. Don't take that hit. Go down. Does a nice job of preserving himself there. And then this is something that I love. He turns his shoulder, which is very difficult to do, to save from taking a big hit. And a lot of people do that. They lose their accuracy. Not Kyler Murray. Watch the ball placement against Alabama, falling off the mound. And this thing's on the money for a touchdown. So he's not a big guy. He's done a great job of protecting himself, but it's going to be a lot more difficult when you go from playing behind that Oklahoma offensive line in the Big 12 to playing behind this Cardinals offensive line in the NFC West.
But at least you're not going to have to teach him how to slide. He knows how to do that, Coach.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what I've thought about the last 24 hours? I thought about Deshaun Watson last year. Or his rookie year. Deshaun Watson, they drafted him. He's going to be a backup quarterback. And the reason why he became the starter, not because he beat out the starter, was because they were bad up front. They couldn't protect. They wanted a guy that could get him out of trouble, that could minimize the bad plays and make some plays with his legs. And he had provided a spark. And I look at this guy could be that same thing.
Well, it's another first-round selection for general manager Steve Keim, who we saw just sitting there. He wasn't on the phone, maybe fielding calls for Josh Rosen. There didn't seem to be much activity on the Honda War Room cam that we peeked in just at the outset of being put on the clock. They're 3.5 minutes in, and you could see right there, they've gone defense quite a bit. And now Josh Rosen, is it possible he could be on the move, or is he their guy and they'll add a defender first round, first overall to that list right there? Chris Rose is up the road here in Nashville. Take it away.
Thank you, Rich. Charles Davis, Steve Smith. Put on your Steve Keim hat. What are you doing, Steve Smith, with the #1 overall pick?
Well, you got to go ahead and move up and get your guy. And what I mean by getting your guy is understanding when a new coach comes in or a new general manager, they want to have success or failure with the guy that they choose. That happens all the time. Big plays, Arizona Cardinals 2008, last. And yards per play, last. You have to create a culture that says we are all in and making some playmakers, getting some playmakers. Larry Fitzgerald's an older player. He will be replaced whenever he decides. but you got to get a guy that you feel comfortable with and that your coach feels comfortable coaching.
Yeah, so is that the quarterback?
That has to be the quarterback. And I can tell you this, we're talking about Arizona, watch the Bengals. They're going to possibly move in there too, because a new coach always lives or die with his guy,
Did you just say
not someone else.
The Bengals are trying to move up from 11. That's what you would do?
I'm just telling you, offense is hard to build a good, solid offense.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. He's talking about Bengals going all the way up to 1 to get. You talk about the Bengals picking a quarterback with a new coach in Zach Taylor. And remember, they didn't extend Andy Dalton. But when we're talking about the Cardinals, they've gone down the road so far now. You have to go with Kyler Murray. You've set it up that way. If you thought Josh Rosen was going to be your guy, they would have set that up right from the beginning. Got Cliff Kingsbury with him, talked about what they would do in the future, worked on the offense. That hasn't really happened. This is about getting Kyler Murray, as Steve said, his guy with the new head coach, and off they go.
Cardinals have drafted a quarterback 4 times in the first round. Last year, Josh Rosen, Matt Leinart in 06, Kelly Stopper, who never played for him in 87, Steve Sarkowitz in 1977. None of them had a winning record with the Cardinals. Rich Eisen.
All right, let's check in on that Honda War Room cam again. We're less than now 4 minutes to go, and has anybody moved? I don't know if anybody's moved. We're saying hello to everyone in the Honda War Room cam. I don't know if it's kind of like Braveheart where they're screaming hold as the Marauders are coming their way, but
Is that a picture or is that actually video?
no, that people are moving in there. So hello to Mr. Bidwell and the rest of the Cardinals that are in that room. Ian, what can you tell us? Less than 4 minutes to go now here on the Josh Rosen front. Is there anything happening?
Rich, when these rumors first began about the Cardinals possibly taking Kyler Murray, general manager Steve Keim reached out to Josh Rosen's agent and told him that the Cardinals eventually tweeted, which is, "You are our guy." Meanwhile, a couple months later, it does seem like they are primed to take a quarterback. And from what I'm told, the Giants and the Redskins have told the Cardinals, if you take Kyler, if you want to trade Josh Rosen, make sure that you call us. But the Cardinals clearly not going to just give him away.
What do you think of that, DJ?
Well, look, if I'm the Washington Redskins, New York Giants, I am paying attention to this pick in a big way, and I know they don't want to give him away. I just can't see any scenario where you're going to have Josh Rosen and Kyler Murray together for very long. I don't think that's a smart way to get Kyler Murray's career launched, in my opinion.
And as you said, if they go with Kyler Murray before that move, all the leverage now goes to the Redskins, to the Giants. We can hold on to our #1 pick and maybe give a lower round pick and get our quarterback as well.
Well, that looks like an owner of a team on the phone with somebody that they're about to draft. Steve Keim's on the phone and seemingly laughing. We have some movement on the Honda War Room cam right there for Arizona, and it is just such a major, significant moment in this draft. If it is Kyler Murray, what it means for that franchise, what it really does mean for the evaluation of the position in the sport, and obviously what it means for Josh Rosen, what it means for those fans. And if they don't do Kyler Murray, if they don't choose Kyler, what that means for those fans in that organization.
I think back to when Kyler Murray transferred to Oklahoma, how frustrating it must have been to sit and wait behind Baker Mayfield. And now you fast forward, Baker Mayfield being the first pick and playing the way he played last year has paved the way for this pick tonight. I don't think if he doesn't have the success he had last year, I'm not sure Kyler Murray's the first pick tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that because it's hard to evaluate. I had trouble evaluating Baker in that system last year, but then I watch what he did in the NFL and I go, okay.
That worked.
Yeah, that worked. So the next guy you go, okay, you have to assume that some of those same traits, because he had the same kind of success, will translate as well. So he's got all the pieces individually. My big question is, if you go here, is he going to have the pieces around him that have that same sort of success early?
Absolutely. You're talking about Josh Rosen, too. The big reason why you'd have to move him is they're two polar opposite guys. If you're going to draft this offense for Kyler Murray, you're going to need his backup to be somewhat similar. So you'd have to change and scrap the whole game plan. So if this is the pick, it's not just about getting rid of Josh Rosen, who I think is a good quarterback and a good starting NFL quarterback at some point. It's about who's that backup quarterback going to be. So we don't have to scrap our offense if Kyler Murray does get hurt.
Well, I know this event is no longer in New York City, but this does have some sort of like New Year's Eve feel to it right now. Like there's tons of people in a main spot in a big city, and the ball's about to drop in less than 40 seconds. And a question that we've had burning up the National Football League and the talent evaluation portion of the calendar for weeks. months throughout the playing season when we were all assuming Kyler Murray was just having one last go-round with football at Oklahoma before joining the A's in baseball until he won the Heisman Trophy. We thought it would be Nick Bosa coming back from an injury atop the draft, and then Murray showed up at the Combine, and everybody thought it was going to be Kyler Murray. The 49ers know who the pick is because they're 30 seconds being into their choice right now. The 49ers are on the clock. So the burning question, will it be Kyler Murray? Will it not be? What does that mean for Josh Rosen if it is? If it's not, what does that mean for Kyler Murray? What does that mean for the 49ers? We're about to get that answer right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Do you think it is going to be Kyler Murray?
I think it's Kyler Murray. There were two people in that draft room on the phone. One might have been calling Kyler Murray. One might have been calling Josh Rosen to let him know what's going to happen.
Or the Giants or the Redskins to say,
or them.
What do you think? Okay, let's now send it to the stage and get the first pick of the draft revealed by the commissioner of the National Football League. And a big, huge, dramatic moment here in Nashville to kick off the 2019 draft.
With the first pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Kyler Murray, quarterback, Oklahoma.
And so it is. The assumed is really happening. Kyler Murray, the Heisman Trophy winner out of Oklahoma, at 5'10" and 1/8", just became the first overall pick in this draft, sending the Arizona Cardinals potentially to the trade block for Josh Rosen, as we all expect. And Cliff Kingsbury, when he said that he would make Kyler Murray the first overall pick in the NFL draft, given that chance, has made it happen.
And when we found out that they had the #1 pick that first day, we thought they would go get somebody to tackle Russell Wilson. They just said, forget that, we're going to go find our own Russell Wilson. And that's what they did here with Kyler Murray. There's going to be bumps in the road for Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. But they just became must-see TV next year to watch what this kid does.
Right, without a question, and you just mentioned it, is just a week ago, a guy that was 5'10", that a lot of people wondered, could you be a franchise guy? He got the highest paid, and became the highest paid quarterback in National Football League history. And that's exactly what they're banking on, is that even if he's not a great pocket passer right off the bat, can he be special like he was on tape, like he was in college? Can he run around and make those Russell Wilson-type plays at big moments in games?
All right, let's take a look at Kyler Murray and what gets you fired up. You want somebody to drive the ball outside the numbers? No problem. A flat, firm ball. How about some touch? Show me a little bucket throw down here in the red zone. Drop that one in beautifully. You get a free rusher, you got some chaos, no problem. Climb up, watch his throw on the move. Watch him elevate this ball against Alabama. That's one of the best throws you'll see this entire year. Now you've got a busted assignment. You've got offensive linemen running into each other. Okay, maybe we throw it away, run out of bounds, 5 yards. No, he's going 60 and taking this thing to the house. Now this is the concern. Every now and then wants to do a little too much, trying to get a big play every play, and you force things and you turn the ball over. That's going to be the challenge, to rein that in but stay aggressive.
Well, who better to welcome him to Prime Time, presented by Pizza Hut, delivered by Pizza Hut, than Prime himself. Dion?
Was there any doubt that you would go #1, and are you happy that you chose football?
I think all this speaks for itself. I'm blessed to be here. I can't even put it into words. It's a dream come true.
Was this the plan all along?
As a kid growing up, you always dream of being the #1 pick in the draft, and to be here, I think it's just a testament to God and all the hard work, everybody who's pushed me and helped me get to this point.
The Cardinals are surely excited, but there's another quarterback there. They may trade him, they may keep him, you don't know, but what do you bring to the table there?
I'm ready to go, no matter what the situation is. I'm a winner. I love the game, and the one thing they'll get out of me is I'm gonna go hard every time I touch the field.
Proud of you, man. Back to you, Kurt.
Thanks a lot, Dion. And we talked about Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals wanting him to be the next Russell Wilson. So let's take a look at the Dodge draft comparison between him and Russell Wilson and what both of these guys do extremely well. And we'll start here with Russell Wilson out of the pocket, right? The ability to make throw. Look at this, perfect coverage, but the ball up and over the top with touch on the second level throws. Now you're going to see Kyler Murray outside the box, pressure in his face. Another great situation coverage-wise. There's only one way to throw this, coach. Up and over the top with great touch for the touchdown. Now you get pressure, right? Things break down. You got free runners coming at you. Nobody better than Russell Wilson. And a little shake and bake, eyes down the field, and a strike on the move. Kyler Murray can do the same sort of things. He's looking left. They're bringing a free runner to the right. That's an easy sack, right? Not for this guy. There's the shake and bake, the eyes down the field. Big play after big play when things break down in front of him. That's what Arizona is hoping they're going to get from this young man.
And as you mentioned, DJ, the fans there love it out there at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Baker Mayfield, who went first overall out of Oklahoma. It's the first time we've ever seen quarterbacks from the same school go in the first round in back-to-back drafts, let alone being first overall picks, let alone both being Heisman Trophy winners. So this is draft history that we may never see again. And then the Cardinals are just going to send this kid out. There's going to be, with your comparison there, Kurt, there will be 2 Kyler Murray versus Russell Wilson games on the schedule every year in the NFC West. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly he progresses in the NFL.
And it's going to be must-see TV. Kurt said it's going to be must-see TV. You're going to have to watch this guy. This guy is special. He's exciting. But the big thing is now for me, they did what we thought they were going to do. They did the thing that makes sense. They've got the coach. They got the quarterback. Now you got to go make it work. Now you got to add pieces around him. This guy can hold you and keep you alive because he can keep plays alive. But now you got to put guys around him. You got to protect him up front. You got to give him a great defense that get the ball back. This is just the beginning of the process.
Yeah, and the first Arizona game coming up this year is going to be against Detroit.